I want to teach this young girl a lesson about being careless. Alexander was out to disprove the famous phrase, third time's the charm. He was willing to ensure that this marriage did not take place. I hadn't wanted to get out of bed that morning. The moment my eyes peeled open, I was instantly filled with horrible regret and an overwhelming sense of anxiety. This wasn't how I was supposed to be feeling, not on the day of my own wedding. I kept wondering if I had made the right choice in my response to the Alpha King's proposition. However, no matter how long I allowed myself to dwell on the issue, I always found that I was led to the exact same conclusion. My brother. This marriage is not about me, it's about Edward. All that mattered was that with the money from the king, he would be able to continue the medical care that he needed. I didn't exactly come to any sort of happy resolution on this whole matter. I just came to the realization that I didn't have a choice. Might as well get up so we can get this whole thing over with then. Without wasting any more time, I rolled out of bed and headed straight for the bathroom. I threw my hair up into a loose bun on top of my head and grabbed for my robe. Once I secured the soft belt around my waist, I made off toward the living room for breakfast. My mind felt hazy. Of course, everything around me came into clear, painful focus the moment I got to where I was going. I stood frozen in the doorway of the living room while Liam was already present. He was sitting at his usual spot with a mug of coffee and the latest copy of the newspaper clutched in his hands. I hated how he acted like nothing had changed, how he hadn't hurt me deeply by allowing this ridiculous switch to happen. If he had stepped up to deny my parents the chance of sending me to this unknown alpha, perhaps things would have turned out a lot differently. Then again, this was the same man who stood awkwardly silent through the entire ordeal. What was he even doing in here? Everyone had been told that this was where the new bride-to-be was meant to be getting ready before the ceremony. Liam spotted me in the doorway and lowered the paper down. I curled a brow upward in question. "Why are you here? Come to give me some pointers on how not to treat my future spouse?" I asked, my voice dripping in sarcasm. He opened his mouth to speak, but quickly closed it into a firm line. I narrowed my eyes at him, wanting to make him disappear from my sight. My stomach spun with sickness from the notion that we were once together. After being told that my future was being decided for me, our relationship felt like it had happened decades ago. Yet, it still hurt me to simply look at him. Why the long face? Samantha asked with a delighted giggle. "This is your wedding day, shouldn't you be happy or something?" "Please don't, Samantha," I muttered. My stepsister burst out in laughter while Isabella came into the room. "You know, you really ought to be getting ready," she remarked. "We'll be heading over to Kingston Hall very soon." Samantha wrapped her arm around Liam and beamed at me with fake enthusiasm. "Yes, we're all looking forward to your ceremony." Oh, wonderful. Was she really dragging Liam along? "So the wedding is going to be taking place there?" I questioned dully. "Yes, since Alexander can't travel far, the wedding will be held in one of his many rooms instead," Isabella explained. "No doubt it will be a simple wedding," Samantha pointed out. She turned to glance at Liam, giving him a flirtatious smile. "Remember, I'm expecting a grand wedding with dozens of flowers and shiny white satin." Knock. Knock, knock. The gentle knocking on the door had us all turning our heads to find that the wedding styling team had arrived. Isabella graciously allowed them all in, and the team began setting up each of their designated stations. Claire, the team leader, led me over to one of the chairs and placed a large iPad in front of me. The screen showed several gorgeous, one-of-a-kind wedding gowns. As I scrolled through, each one of them was more expensive and beautiful than the one before it. I had no idea how my family was going to afford such a luxurious dress and setup. Alpha Alexander has already ensured that today's preparations have all been financially covered, Claire told me. She gave me a knowing wink, giving my nerves a chance to calm down. Looking at the screen, Samantha folded her arms over her chest and wore a bitter expression on her face. "You shouldn't rely on money to make this marriage work,"